Hey everybody. So, hey, where's this camera going crooked on me? Hey everybody. So, this is Shar Hunter here with you, the trans community's favorite two-spirit Métis autistic chick. Um, Coming to you live from Northern Ontario. Um, for those of you who don't know me, hi, welcome. This is my first video review of anything, so forgive my OBS awkwardness and clumsy colors. Um, for those of you who may not know me, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or something like it, which is a connective tissue disorder that lasts your whole life and affects your whole body and hurts everything. And to manage that, I have a lot of pharmaceutical choices that I rely on and a lot of supplements, which is something I could talk about another day, maybe if anyone's interested. But in the past couple months, I've started to get really interested in oxygen therapy. And I was looking at oxygen machines. It's just complicated to go through the medical system and try to like get a prescription for something like that. And then I don't know if you have to lease a machine or what have you. And I was looking at the North American brand name oxygen machines, Philips or GE or whoever makes them, and they're in the thousands of dollars. So that's not something I want to just try out for fun to try. But I also did notice that the last 10 years or so, there have been a lot of studies and a lot of interest in hydrogen water, hydrogen therapy, hydrogen gas therapy, and which is made by a similar means. They're both made by electrolysis in the oxygen concentrators or hydrogen machines. And I also found some great research and some really interesting research into the medical applications of the combination of hydrogen and oxygen and electrolyzed water, which is also known as Brown's gas. And that's maybe something that I'll look into in the future. But those machines are also in the thousands of dollars. So just to sort of dip my feet into the medical gas world at home, medical at home gas world, I looked on the inter pages for offshore sources of non-brand name oxygen and or hydrogen gas generators, preferably with a medical bent to how they're designed and marketed. And those are running, it seems now, which is pretty great to see, in the $600 to $800 range, maybe up to $1,000 for the somewhat more decent looking, more reliable looking ones. Typically, that have to be ordered from China or India, which is fine. Although sometimes we lose that sort of brand reliability that we've become used to, especially when this is something you're strapping to your face and inhaling or dissolving in water and drinking. So I was a little trepidatious, and I was also a little worried about spending thousands of dollars. So in order to take my first foray into the world of medical gas therapy, I sort of rewound my interest back maybe 5 or 6 years to when everyone was making and drinking hydrogen water. And there are plenty of studies showing that hydrogen gas can be really healthy for the body, especially for people with long-term pain, chronic illness, like me and a lot of my friends. What I thought I might share with yous today, I notice I'm not using the term y'all. That's more of American thing, and I'm way up here in Northern Ontario, where, for better or for worse, we use the alternate phrase for yous guys sometimes. You'll forgive the genderism. So what I'm going to do is show you this not great picture of what I ordered and what arrived for around $100, I believe. This I ordered on one of the bigger overseas electronics type sites. It's what I did was look for a hydrogen generating bottle machine that also might have the ability to connect to a face mask or a cannula. But the combo machines were too expensive, so I just went for hydrogen, and I chose the most affordable one that was actually made solidly, not all plastic. That hopefully, I'm hoping that this is made of glass, because that's the way that I chose this particular model. Excuse me. And this is what arrived about a week later in the mail. This is the Althy Hydragen classic one. Um, I I was so pleased, not pleased, to see that the actual name of the product spelled hydrogen wrong. Um, but I'm putting my trust in the reviewers, and um, hopefully you'll join me on this small adventure while I open this bad girl up, see what we get, uh, clean it out first, and see what, if anything, hydrogen water does to me. So, be back with you for unboxing in a second. Okay, I'm back, and I think I almost kind of know sort of what I'm doing here. Um, I'm gonna pull this up, and here you can see. Oh yeah, here's my arrival, my H2 Classic One model, and let's just open it up. Let's see what we get here. Got my mini Swiss Army knife that multifunction Swiss Army knife that I bought ages ago to open paperwork with, but it turned out I wasn't allowed to bring it into most courthouses with me in my pocket. And then then we had the 9/11 aftermath, and I wasn't allowed to bring it onto planes with me. So now it's exclusively reserved for package opening purposes. Here's what we get out of the box, and oh, is this kind of it's one of those magnetic kind of flippy toppy things that definitely makes everything seem so much more elite, I hope. Here we go. We've got what here? This looks like maybe a little warranty card. I'm sure that'll be used. A instruction manual that has it's one letter size page with the instructions in English only. So clearly this is not designed for sale in Canada. And please be glass. Please be glass. It is. It's glass. So this is great. This is great news. And I of course combed for a white model. I have an aversion to black, dark colored objects, I suppose. This looks like there's a nose cannula in it, and that's the one. I think this was about the only model that's how I chose Althy. But it's the only model I could find that included a cannula attachment, had a glass bottle, and was available in white. So this is quite exciting. It's fairly heavy actually. The glass is heavy, and the base is also heavy, which is good. I assume you don't want too much tipping over of the medical hydrogen water bottle making machine. There's what appears to be a power switch on the bottom, and a little power cord probably. This looks like it's probably going to be a USB cable. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Yes, this is important actually. It's a USB-C cable, which is great. Big USB-C fan. Anything that arrives with a micro USB these days is to be suspect, I would say, to be suspicious of. And this looks like this might be the cannula attachment adapter and what might be a spare gasket. It looks like there's a gasket of there's an O-ring in each side, and I'm hoping that's a spare because it wasn't attached. In any event, this is how it arrived. Before I use it, I'm going to give it a thorough cleaning. Again, happy that it's glass, should be easy to clean. I'll get upstairs and do that, and be back with you later to see how this works. I'm back. Here we go. So what I did was I ran upstairs and I washed the glass part of the machine in some nice hot soapy water. I also did the same with the lid. This lid is not the greatest design, I gotta say. It's got this nice soft silicone double lid, which hides the cannula attachment. The cannula attachment is great. I'm looking forward to trying it. Probably not in this video, but at another time. But however, and it also has a nice handy handle to carry the entire rigamajig with. However, the ergonomics people clearly did not check this out. When you lift the lid, it also pulls up the silicone double lid, so it's very difficult to do one without doing the other, and I'm a little not super dexterous. In any event, that's all washed and clean. This is washed and clean. I reattached it to the base because it was a little confusing to me at first. The glass bottle does not have a base. It only has the charger and hydrogen generator as the base, which is not submersible. So it's a little tricky. What I actually tried to do first is to screw the lid on, turn it upside down without the base, fill it with water, and the water went all over my desk because the silicone double lid is not super tight, and also I think there's a gas pressure release valve in there which is not permanently sealed, and it was a little messy. In any event, what I did was put it back on the base, and I filled it with the instructions recommend using distilled water. I'm just using our Precambrian Shield tap water here because I'm not all that concerned about the life of the filter. I'm hoping that I will like the experience of hydrogen water and or hydrogen gas and maybe move on to something better in the near future. But in any event, I'm using our water because it's the greatest water of all time. Very hard and probably very destructive to this membrane, but in any event, that's what I did. And then I screwed on the lid, and thanks to the joys of technology, I've already run the machine on a 10-minute cycle. I threw that water out just again to make sure that everything's being replaced thoroughly with our own local water, and any impurities have been discarded. And excuse me, I grabbed another decaf latte while I was up there. I'm a methylphenidate girl, so decaf only during the day, anytime. And I ran a 10-minute cycle. I tossed that, replaced it with fresh water again, and ran that for another 10-minute cycle. So this water here has been, I don't even know the term, bubbled, irrigated with hydrogen gas for 10 minutes already. But just to show you what it's like, I'm going to push the button once and run another 3-minute cycle. It's really quite beautiful. And while that 3-minute cycle is running, I'm not even sure if you can see the bubbles there. They're quite mesmerizing. Anyway, in any event, the bubbles are rising. They're pretty. There's a very slight hissing sound. It's quite a nice no, that's not it. Shh. It's more like this. Shh. It's more of a shh sound. Forgive my broken front tooth. I'm getting it fixed on Monday, and it's Saturday. In any event, that's going to run for 3 minutes, and while that's running for an additional 3 minutes, I just wanted to. I can't help. I'm trained as a lawyer, so I got to go over some of these claims here, people. The claims. Look at this in the instruction card, which is in English only. Again, sorry if you're in Quebec. No dice for you. Improves hydration levels. Apparently, this is what this water bottle does for you. Improves hydration levels up to 6 times better than regular water. So for every cup of hydrogen water you drink, you're getting 6 cups of regular water, apparently. Not sure how that makes sense. But in any event, improves hypertension, hyperglycemia, and hyperlipidemia, which is great. Improves absorption of supplements. I'm actually, if that's true, I'm really looking forward to that. I would love to cut back on my supplement consumption for the same effects. Improved gastrointestinal function, has super anti-senility effects. I'm not even sure entirely what that means. I guess that means anti-dementia. Effects, reduces the inflammation, improves sleep quality, improves memory, reduces wrinkles. I have actually seen videos of people using Brown's gas to help heal scars. I'm actually looking forward to that as a possibility. Improves memory, reduces wrinkles, and is portable and easy to use anytime, anywhere. So those are some claims. Those are some serious claims. We'll see how many of them pan out. I should mention at the same time, I'm not going to be testing out this cannula in this video, but it did come with a fairly decent, the cord is not very long, maybe only 3 or 4 feet, but it does have a nice soft silicone cannula. It's not hard plastic. It's nice, soft, it's that slightly sticky type, which might be annoying with the old nostril hairs up there. We'll see. But it is at least soft, flexible silicone rather than hard plastic. So that should be all right. And if you heard the beep, you probably didn't. It just went off, indicating that that's been hydrogenating for 3 minutes. Like I mentioned, I did another 10 minutes previously, which is supposed to, according to the instructions, bring us up into the range of about 1,500 to maybe up to about 2,000 parts per billion of hydrogen gas. And again, that we're not talking about hydrogen ions here. This is not acidic or basic water. This is supposed to be just hydrogen, molecular dihydrogen dissolved in tap water. I'm a little nervous, but what better to test a health water in than a lead crystal goblet? But that's what I found in my parents' 70s style retro themed basement here. And so wish me well. This is Charlotte Hunter's first sample of hydrogen water ever. Here we go. Tastes like water. So let me I'll probably finish the glass over the next little while. My goodness, I do feel a little lightheaded. I feel a little lightheaded. I feel a little dizzy, not dizzy, just lightheaded. I'm not sure what that's about. I mean, let's try it again. Might as well. YOLO. Cheers. It doesn't smell any different. And it doesn't taste any different, as one would expect. I swear it does make me it gives me just a quick sensation of lightheadedness, almost like for anyone who vapes CBD, it's almost like vaping a big lung full of CBD and just getting a little bit of a floaty feel for. Well, we'll see how long that lasts. Maybe I'll have to get back to you. Okay, yeah, here I am back, and as you may notice, I'm strapped in this time. I decided, hey, why you've hung in with me for this long? I might as well try out the cannula. So I'm cannulated here, and I refilled the machine and started another 10-minute cycle, and I've almost finished my first glass of hydrogen water in my life. I'll just maybe I'll top her off here. And on top of that, I'm presumably taking in the overflow, the surplus hydrogen that isn't being absorbed by the water in the bottle. I guess is going through the top and into the cannula. Now, the instruction manual doesn't even mention the cannula attachment. I think that was a sort of a second generation model that they upgraded at a certain point. The tubing is not very long. It's maybe like 3 feet. I thought maybe this would be handy to use on my bedside, where I could take some hydrogen gas at bedtime. It doesn't look like that'll be a great option because of the short length of the cord. It's shorter than my arm. In any event, I'm almost finished the water. Top it. I'll finish it off here. So far, all I can really find as far as effects, would be a little bit of lightheadedness, not vertigo, not dizziness, but sort of a slight head in the clouds feeling, and a little trouble finding my words. Having having rubber tubes up your nose can also have the same effect, I believe. In any event, I'm pretty happy with the product. I would say the lid design is not ideal, but I mean that was one of the deciding factors that led me towards this particular manufacturer and model, was that this cannula attachment was one. It was one of the few models that came with this cannula attachment, and it looks like it was a revision to afterthought, because it's not at all mentioned in the instruction manual. So perhaps they'd be forgiven for not having the greatest lid design in history. This is probably just something people were demanding, that the company found a niche for without having to redesign the entire product. This is probably the third or fourth cycle of 10 minutes that it's gone through. So that's, I mean, it looks like it can run for over half an hour on a single charge without problem. It's really beautiful to look at. I don't believe that I can do it justice, but the bubbles are really pretty. I mean, who doesn't love bubbles? The indigo light and the rising bubbles. I'm still feeling kind of lightheaded, even perhaps maybe a little more now. Um, in any event, I think it's probably time to wind down this video review. I really thank you for joining me. All you get for today is a review of the product, and I would say it's I mean, I would give it 2 thumbs up, based on the price, $100 roughly, plus whatever. And the fact that it does have a cannula attachment, they sent it to me in white without any additional charge. I hate when products are more expensive for the white model than the black model. Ugh. So I would give it 2 thumbs up for what it is at that price. It seems to operate okay. I don't know how long it will last using our quite hard groundwater that we have here. But for now, I guess this is Charlotte Hunter, full of hydrogen and with a blimp style brain, saying thanks for joining me, and we'll look forward to being critical and curious about different product in the future. Bye bye.